Without objection, I'd like to enter into the record some letters the committee has received from musicians supporting the bill, including Paul McCartney, Gloria Estefan, Brian Wilson, Ricky Martin, Celine Dion, and John Legend. Without objection, those will be part of the record. I'll now recognize myself for 5 minutes. Mr. Corgan, first, thank you for your excellent testimony. And also thank you for the effect you've had on American culture, because now when people see a bald guy, they think rock star.
But sir, you're not completely bald.
I'm
not there yet.
I'm not completely a rock star.
No, sir. No, you're not.
Now, Mr. Corgan,
but we need new stars. We need new stars.
Brainwall will talk. There's been some discussion as to whether the bill reflects a fair compromise between the artists and the label. It's my understanding that the artists and the labels are both behind this bill and this division. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's the basic idea.
So the attempt by those who don't pay anything to create a fight between the labels and the artists, or to attack the bill for being unfairly artists or unfair to the labels, that you come here as united front.
Yes, sir. But can I make one comment? In the mechanical rights issue with songwriters, which was was a was enacted by Congress, labels have been really wishy-washy on paying full mechanical rate, and they've used that as a negotiating tool. So if you're going to do this, if you're actually going to say it's the right thing to divide this pie 50-50, make it 50-50. Don't let the labels then exert pressure on the artists to whittle down their share, which they've done in the mechanical rights issue. That's something that has been very irritating to me as an artist.
And if I can clarify that,
Mr. Alameda, do you also agree that the bill has the right division between the artists and the labels?
Yes, we've come together and
okay. And Mr. Brainwall, you agree with the bill as it's drafted, and you're going to pay the full 50%, or you're going to be negotiating the artists down?
Yes, and no.
Okay, yes, so no to negotiating the artists down. Let me move on to another line of questioning. Mr. Newberry, you point out that the stations do public service. You didn't mention that you get tens of billions of dollars worth of free spectrum, and while almost all the businesses in this country perform important public service when they can, very few of them get that kind of valuable right. So the two go hand in hand. I'd like you to imagine a big rock band entourage that goes crashing into a restaurant, eats well, and then refuses to pay. And when they refuse to pay, when they steal the food, they say, well, our business model was created on the assumption that we'd always steal food. Or, times are tough, we got to steal the food now. Or, this band performs a lot of good public service, so we should be able to steal the food. Or, our band is so popular, we're providing promotion to this restaurant. It's going to be the hot restaurant because we were seen here. Or, our band is a small local business, so we should be able to steal food. Or, we need to do a study to determine whether or not we should steal the food. And until such time as that study is completed and agreed to by everyone as being an accurate study, we should steal the food. In this society, do we usually allow theft on the theory that the thief is struggling, or the thief is public-spirited, or that somehow the victim unwillingly and without their consent benefits from the theft?
Would you like for me to answer that?
Quickly.
If the restaurant went to the band 3,800 times in the course of 6 months and said, please come eat our food, we would like for you to please...
Sir, I think that Mr. Leibowitz has well illustrated the fact that obviously each individual band, a record label and record, has it in their interest to be played more. But in total, the industry suffers. And we've seen, I think he's illustrated that rather well. But to say that because you get 3,800 flyers, saying come eat at the restaurant that you get to go for free seems a bit absurd. But I do want to shift to Mr. Leibowitz.
I would also like to go on record that the assertion that it's stealing and thievery is somewhat a mischaracterization. It is an industry that has worked jointly with the radio and recording industry over the years to promote.
Sir, if one of your members produces a station, it produces the Limbaugh Show, which I know you don't air, and I put it on my station and I run it for free, but not with the barter. I put only my own commercials in, and I say, wait a minute, I'm helping Limbaugh become popular in my area. And he wanted to be on my show, and I'm helping his book sales. Therefore, I don't have to pay or provide any barter for the show. I think you'd be here asking the government to enforce the rights of the station involved. But, Mr. Leibowitz, two rival studies. One's yours, one's the other side's. They won't share the data with you. Have you shared your data with them, and have they found any holes in it?
Well, I offered to exchange data, and they basically said...
when you say exchange, is your willingness to share your data contingent on them providing their data?
Well, I wasn't sure exactly what my answer would be if they said, well, we'll take your data, but we're not going to give you ours.
I'm asking the question, so tell us the answer.
No, it never actually came up.
Okay, now it's coming up.
So I'm not sure what my answer would be.
What would your answer be, Mr. Leibowitz?
I'm a little reluctant to sort of let them make the final decision as to who's right and who's wrong. But if there was a third party, I'd certainly be willing to.
Maybe you'd want to give the committee your data. That would be the solution to this.
Excuse me?
And then we could... What?
I'm sorry, I missed what you said. I didn't catch it.
Maybe you would want to furnish to this committee for this hearing the data.
Sure, I can do that.
So that everyone can then see whether either of these studies can withstand scrutiny. And if your data is furnished and withstands scrutiny and their data remains hidden for reasons that have been previously talked about, then we'll know which study we can rely on. My time has expired, and I believe